Shalom. Well, this video message is really for Marisol, but naturally, I'm going to send it to her work and all that. But I sent it to Ian, and Ian, you can send it on to her as well. But it's a very strict, very detailed, right to the point. These last few months, I just think of your mother, Ian, and it just blows me away. I mean, the woman I married was never the woman she pretended to be. A total farce. But anyway, that's beside the point. But really got me, though, the last time when we spoke was when you told me that Marisol told you that all she ever wanted was that I was together with the kids. Well, that was the biggest freaking lie ever, okay, because her actions prove that that's not true. She took out a fraudulent protective order more than once. She has turned Isaac, Christian, and Katya against their fathers with the help of, I don't know, maybe you helped in that area too, Ian, I don't know, but definitely her mother and father, because those two people are total gossipers, backbiters, slanderers. I mean, Ian, they did that even with you. As you know, when you were growing up, all they did was talk behind my back, everything, and they did succeed in turning you and me against each other. They succeeded. I congratulate them. But you know what? I don't really give a damn. Okay? I live a great life here. I love my life here. But the question is, I haven't given up on Isaac, Christian, or Katya. But I've gotten over it, and I have come to the realization that I may go to my grave and never have any relationship with them. And I'm okay with that now. It took a long time. I've suffered a lot because of it, etc. And even because of you, Ian. Because you and we should have had a lot more. Okay? But it didn't happen that way. Your grandparents and your mother made sure of that. And that's definitely a fact. Because you remember the video that I talked about you and me. And you and my relationship. And everything in that video was 100% on point and truth. And you know it. But anyway, that's beyond the point. Okay, now, the question is this. Marisol told you here in the last time we spoke, and you mentioned to me that she said to you that all she ever wanted was for me to be in Katya, Isaac, and Christian's life. Well, that was nothing but a big frickin' lie, okay? Because everything she did, her actions, her works, totally show that that is false. So, I look at it this way. As I said, I'm okay. If I never ever talk to those my three kids again, so be it. But I've already shed enough tears, already drained enough pillows. I don't need to go there anymore. I am happy, I am content, and I've got a freaking great life here in Colombia. It could never even come close to in the United States. I think about you guys in Tulsa. Oh, gosh, man, boring. I mean, totally boring. I mean, what's in Tulsa? Nothing but a pagan capital. I call it, that's what it is. Nothing but cultist, okay? Christianity and all that is right out of the pit of hell and all that. And I'm going to go into that in more videos down the road. I've left that great. Man, you got to get away from worshiping Satan, okay? But anyway, let's keep going because that's not what I really want to do in this video. What I'm going to do is this. See, I know for a fact this, and I believe it. I mean, let me put it this way. I don't know it for a fact because it has to happen, but I do believe this. And that is, Katya, Isaac, and Christian do not know the truth under any circumstances about what their mother, my wife, did. The adultery. Yeah. Total betrayal of her husband, me. She even betrayed your father, Michael. Okay? You guys don't know anything. It's just like the last time I asked you, Ian, did you know, Ian, that Marisol's father offered Marisol to rent the house there in Yorktown or whatever it's called, the house that he lived in every time before they moved to the condominium, that he offered to rent it to her if she would dump me. And you said you didn't know that. And I know you didn't know. Isaac doesn't know, Christian doesn't know, Katya doesn't know. They don't know anything about the marriage. Nothing. And one of the reasons that Marisol has fought all these years to keep me away from them is because they know that I won't sit by and say nothing. Those three are going to know the truth about the marriage. Okay? Now, I've done videos in the past on YouTube, they're there, in which I speak about the marriage. But I've been very nonchalant. I haven't been very detailed about the problems in the marriage. Her adultery. Yeah, she fucked somebody. Okay? Yeah. Their mother, while we were married, in the separation, because even during separation we're still married, she fucked somebody. Okay? I I believe that wholeheartedly, and I believe I can prove it. But anyway, they don't know any of that. But they're going to know it. And all of Tulsa is going to know it. Okay? Because I firmly believe one thing, and that is when Isaac, Katya, Christian learn the truth, everything about the marriage, they're going to see how they've been bamboozled by the Busquets into turning against their father. And let me tell you something, and Marisol, because this video is really for you. Let me tell you something, Marisol. You think that that's a light thing? That's because you know nothing in the scriptures about the relationship of the father with the children. Nothing. You believe, Marisol, that all the shit you did in court, accusing me of sexual molestation of children, of Isaac, Christian, Katya, that I would sexually abuse them, that I would physically abuse them, that I would murder them, all false accusations so you could steal them. And you accomplished what you wanted to accomplish, Marisol. You stole them. But not only did you steal them, between you and the Busquets, you have indoctrinated and brainwashed them and got them to the point where they hate their father. And you believe that you can go on Sundays, sun, S-U-N, day. That's a day of worship of the sun, which is a pagan day. I don't worship on the sun, day. I worship on Shabbat. That's a day ordained and declared by Yahuwah himself, the Father. Sunday. When I think of all 24 freaking years of nothing but a satanic cult that Christianity is, unbelievable. But anyway, that's another topic. But anyway, you believe, because that's what Christians believe, just like the Catholics, that you can live like hell all week long, and you did it during the divorce, and then go on your sun, worship of the sun day, and say, "Oh, Jesus, forgive me for what I did," and that everything's okay. And then you went back in on Monday again into the courts and did your same old crap against me, etc. And you go back on Sunday, "Oh, Jesus, forgive me for what I did in court. Oh, I've been cleansed by the blood." And you think you're fine. Boy, that's what you get in a cult. That's what the Catholics believe, same thing. As a matter of fact, you may not realize this, but you should do a little bit of history, a little bit of investigation. You'll find that Christianity, it's not in the scriptures in relation to the original apostles, etc. Christianity was born from the Catholic Church. That's why it's interesting, and I'll just cover this real lightly. When I would see the big-time evangelists go to Rome and kiss the Pope's ring, and I would say, how the hell can they do that? That's the biggest devil worshiper, etc. How can they go and bow? That's a total abomination. That's heresy, blah, blah, blah. I could never figure it out. I know now why. Christianity is a sister, it's a daughter, I should say, of the Catholic Church. And that's why the beliefs of the Christianity, there's so much Catholicism in the Christianity, it's mind-blowing. But that's why I'm out of that hellhole. Because I don't want to spend my life in Sheol. I want to spend my life in the reign and in the kingdom of the New Jerusalem, where Yahushua and Yahweh reign. That's simple. But anyway. So how am I going to handle your outright hypocrisy and lies, Marisol? Let me tell you how I'm going to do it. Things in Colombia are absolutely spectacular for me. Okay? The business, I'm getting ready to go to Ecuador, where they want me to build a large hydroponic system that I have the total rights to for all of South America, and all this, and I'm going to build it here, etc. And we've also done some investments with Gary and Richard and all that are absolutely phenomenal. And my life here is changing big time. It already has changed. Okay? I live extremely well. Gorgeous apartment. I furnished it all. I'm renting 2 rooms out, in which by renting the 2 rooms out, I don't pay any rent whatsoever. And I got so many friends, and I go to incredible Kehillah congregation. We go back to the Hebrew roots of the word, the Torah, and just totally different world. But anyway, so how am I going to? Well, I've always believed that once Katya, Isaac, and Christian know the truth, because they're not going to get it from you. You're a lying whore in my eyes. You have been. You lied to me in relation to before we got married about who you were. You lied to me inside. You basically defrauded me into marrying you. And I know that now, okay? That you didn't have any sexual problems, that it was all Michael's fault. And then later you told me that Michael raped you, which I know was a lie. And I know it was a lie, okay? But yes, Ian, your mother said that your father raped her. Ian, don't be concerned. It was a lie. But you should ask her about that. Why don't you ask her, Mama, did you say that my dad raped you? Let's see what she says to you. Will she look at you in your face, Ian, and tell you the truth that, yes, she did say that? And then ask her if she does say yes, and then tell her, look in my eyes, Mom, and tell me that's the truth. That my father raped you before they were married. Yeah, Ian. You know, you need to find out exactly, about your mother, the truth, okay? Let's see what she does. Let's see if she says yes. Then call your father up. Call Michael up in Charlotte, okay? And say, Dad, Mom just said that you raped her before you were married. And let's see what he says, okay? I already know what he's going to say. It's a freaking lie. But you know what? That's who your mother is. She lies left and right. She accuses left and right. She's a hypocrite in every single way. So anyway, getting back to the theme of the story. I truly believe, and I could be wrong, that the day will come when Isaac, Kristen, and Katya will finally look at the whole marriage between their mother and me and get the truth. That Marisol doesn't want under any circumstances. That's why she's done everything she's done to separate me from them three so they don't know the truth. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to get the truth to Isaac, Kristen, and Katya. So how am I going to do it? There's a web page being designed. It's going to be designed. It's not being designed yet. It's going to be designed. And it's going to have probably 40 hours of video which I'm going to talk. And it's all about the marriage, about her father, incest, the sexual problems of your mother. Ask your mother, Ian, ask your mother a question. Ask your mother if she uses Tampax or if she uses Maxi Pads, and why doesn't she use Tampax? I know exactly why. And there's so much stuff I know about Marisol, it's mind-blowing. And what I'm going to do is this. Every single detail in our marriage, everything that I can recollect, which is really everything, because it was a freaking 14-year nightmare, especially sexually. Total sexual nightmare with your mother. Same nightmare your father Michael had, Ian. And afterwards, it's going to go on the website, all the videos. It'll be at least 30 to 40 hours. I already know that. And that website is going to be broadcast throughout all of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and then afterwards, Oklahoma. I'm going to talk about her father, and I'm going to talk about my belief in relation to the sexual molestation or incest within Marisol's family. Yep, incest, Ian. I want to talk about it all. Everything. See, I look at it this way. I don't have anything to lose. And only the truth, it's just like the scripture says. The truth should set you free. And that's the only thing that's going to set my three free. And even you, Ian, and that's the truth. 100% the truth. So I'm going to discuss it all. Just like the first night that we got back from the honeymoon. What a freaking nightmare in bed. I never got to bed. Unbelievable that night. And then the second night, I thought for sure that I was going to have to do an exorcism. Okay? On your mother. Everything is going to be disclosed. Nothing that's been in the dark is going to stay in the dark. It's going to be all brought to the light. I'm going to talk about every sexual detail in my marriage to your mother. I'm going to talk about the actual sex, which really there was none. Unbelievable. Everything. Everything having to do with her father. Everything why I believe 100%, number one, there's no question about it, your mother has sexual problems with men. She had it with Michael. I mean, listen, ask her. Married to Michael, your father, for 7 years. she refused to let Michael touch her. They didn't consummate the marriage until 3.5 years of being married. This came from Marisol's own mouth to me. But ask Michael. Ask him to be honest with you. That's why he left. That's why, for example, I just want to let you know, Ian, Michael did not commit adultery. Which was the reason that supposedly Marisol filed for divorce and all that. Michael did not, your father did not commit adultery, Ian. Okay? And I'm going to talk about that. I mean, there isn't anything I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to talk about oral sex. Well, you know, come on to think of it, I'm going to talk about what oral sex in our marriage. I'm going to talk about oral sex before the marriage. When your mother basically dropped my pants and gave me a blowjob because she wanted to prove to herself that she didn't have any sexual problems. But I know today what it was all about. See, I was already starting to wonder about whether or not your mother had sexual problems, and she knew it. And so in order to keep me locked in, and that she didn't have any sexual problems, she basically dropped my pants, gave me a blowjob, and gave me a blowjob. Yeah. Now, I didn't penetrate her, you know, put my penis into her vagina. Okay, that didn't happen. Didn't even touch her vagina. Matter of fact, I didn't touch her vagina in 14 years of being married. I'm going to talk about all of that. All of that. And it's going to go on the internet. And I'm going to take that website, and it's going to be broadcast all over Tulsa. Everywhere. My goal is to have 500,000 views just within Tulsa. There's going to be pictures of everybody. In the end, I'm sorry to tell you guys, but everything's going to be in there, even what you did to Katya. Okay? Everything's going to be in there. I'm not protecting anybody, buddy. Everything's going to be in there. The truth is going to be in there, because that's the only thing that's going to set my kids free, is the truth. And they need to know. And, well, Katya naturally already knows he sexually molested her, okay? But Christian and Isaac, they need to know. And Christian, you and I both, Isaac. No, it's not Isaac, not Christian. Ian, you and I both know that Katya was not the first and only little girl you molested. You know that, and I know that you know that I know that Katya was not the first. What was the first, but she was not the last under any circumstances. Yeah, sad to say it, but I fear that. And you know, and I don't say that to try to hurt you or try anything. It's just that that's a reality of life. You never received any help for your sexual problem. That's all in the Busquets line. It's all comes through Marisol. You guys, you know, sexual perverts, in a matter of speaking. Okay, incest, etc. I'm going to talk about it all. Marisol's pictures of her father, her mother, all going to be on the internet. Everything is coming out. Why? Because only the truth is going to set my kids free. I'm already set free, man. I'm having a great life down here. I'm looking at being married before the end of 2016, if not this spring. I don't have a woman in my life yet, but see, things are exploding here financially. I've been restored spiritually, mentally. I'm being restored physically. All this crap with Marisol, I'm over it. The loss and the theft of my 3 kids, Isaac, Christian, Katya, and all of that, and all the false accusation, everything Marisol did in the court, everything, I'm over all of that. I can now have a fruitful relationship with a gorgeous Spanish Colombian woman. I mean, I got so many women that want to get married, it's mind-blowing, you know. They want to get married, but it's not yet. I got some stuff to do, but I will be married by the end of 2016, and we go from there. But anyway, so once the website is done, it's going to go up on. I'm going to purchase space, you know, those banners on websites, and I'm going to purchase it all over. Emails are going to go out to businesses all over Tulsa and all over Oklahoma area, the Tulsa metropolitan. What was the name of? I can't even remember the name of. With the ministry, Kenneth Hagin. Oh, Broken Arrow. All of that is going to go out. All of it. It's going to be sent to every single Christian, pagan, cultist church in Tulsa. Everywhere. Okay. The judge's picture is going to be on here. What's his name? James Williamson. That son of a bitch lying, you know, just vomit. The guy who died, the guardian ad litem, Rick Clark. All of that. All of that is going to be exposed. And that guy is dead. He died like a year and a half later, and I told him he was going to die. I asked Yahweh, and that'll all be on there, okay? But, you know, and that's it. You know, and I go on with my life. So, you know, Marisol had stated that the reason the kids wanted to change their name was because they were embarrassed because I was taking their pictures off of Facebook and put it onto my Facebook. Well, yeah, sure, I'm their father. I wanted their pictures. And since they wouldn't communicate with me, I tried to get pictures from their friends to give to me, and many did. And I still have connections a lot in Tulsa with a lot of friends and all. They give me little updates, like an update about 3 years ago in which Marisol was claiming that the reason she wanted a divorce was because I was a sexual pervert and wanted her to do sexual things, sexual perverted acts. Boy, that's a real clinger. I'm going, what sex? Marisol's definition of sex was get on, come, and get off. You got 2 minutes, and it's over. And I'm not exaggerating, okay? But see, all of that in detail we're going to talk about. So, anyway, going back to my kids, supposedly they wanted to change their last name. I don't know, all of that was a lie. I know that Marisol's the one that did it. And I'm going to talk in depth about that, etc. But all I'm going to say is this. If you think Katya, Isaac, and Christian were embarrassed because I was taking their pictures and posting it onto my Facebook, let me tell you something. The videos that are coming out, which explain everything, including why I believe that Marisol's father did something sexually to Katya right after I was kicked out. Yeah, I believe that. I'm going to talk about all of that. Now, if you believe that, now I'm going to tell you something for sure. By the time I finish with Tulsa, they're not going to want to live in Tulsa. Talk about being embarrassed. They're going to be embarrassed. They're going to be embarrassed of what their mother did, not what their father did. I didn't do anything. I never wanted the divorce. Go to the court records and find out if you see my signature on any of the divorce papers. I didn't sign anything. Didn't kiss my ass. Okay? But, you know, they signed him anyway. The judges, whatever, gave my soul. And I don't care. But let me tell you something. I don't want anything to do with your mother. She's a sick, sexual, perverted, victimized woman who never got any help. And I'm going to talk about all of that. All of that is going up on the internet, and it's going. And if the things hit here the way that they're hitting, we got some major investments that are into the multi-millions of dollars that we're expecting to hit. If they hit, let me tell you something. I'll be taking front-page ads out in the Tulsa world. Now, my kids want something that's going to be embarrassed. Yeah, they're going to be embarrassed then. They're going to be embarrassed about their mother, not their father. Not me. But the truth is, I'm going to get the truth to them. They don't want to talk to me? Okay, I understand it. They've been poisoned against me. I understand all that crap. Okay? You know, and that, they don't want to talk to me because all I'm going to do is talk about what happened. Yeah, damn right I am. They're going to know the truth, why it is that I disappeared off the face of the map from basically 2005 until I got to Colombia in 2009. Why was it that I disappeared? They didn't get a phone call from me. They didn't even get a Christmas card. They didn't even get a birthday card. They got nothing. Zero. Disappeared as if I had been a missing in action soldier. Yeah, they're going to know all of that. All of that. They're going to find out why and how they were betrayed by their mother and the Busquets totally. Because see, when they find out all out, I gave Marisol in court one day a prophecy. I won't tell you what it is about Katya, Isaac, and Christian. And I told her the day will come when they will find out the truth. And when they find out the truth, they're going to do something. They will do something, those three, in relation to Marisol, when they find out the truth about what she did to them. Listen to it. Because, see, the divorce was between me and your mother. She brought them into the picture. Your mother, low life, all the way. And that's her decision. And keep on going to that church on worship day of the sun, and don't give me Jesus, don't give me Jesus. Because let me tell you something, that's not the way it works. But that's the way it works in Christianity and Catholicism. Live like the devil and for the devil and do his works all week long. Come on Sunday and we're just going to bless you and it's going to be all wiped away by the blood. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way at all. At all. That's why, I've said before, when you bury your grandfather, Jorge Busquets, know this. He ain't going to know eternal kingdom of Yahweh. Ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. Sheol is waiting for him. That's where he's going. Destroyed 2 families and destroyed the life of a little innocent girl, Marisol, by violating her when she was little. And believe me, when you hear everything I'm going to ask in the videos, I'm going to ask at the end, basically something like this, and that is, now that you know the whole story, and let me tell you something, I'm willing to put my eternity on the line, because under no circumstances will I intentionally change the truth, modify it, or tell a lie intentionally. And if I do, that Yahweh send me to Sheol. Have Marisol say that. Have her get down and say, if I have told the lies, etc., Yahweh send me to Sheol. She doesn't have to say it. That's where she's headed. Okay? And that's because of ignorance of what the Torah, what Yahweh states in the Scriptures. Total ignorance. That's the way it goes. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm just letting you know what's coming, so that there's no surprises. When it starts, after it starts to happen, not before, but down the road, after it starts to happen, etc., I'll let you know. I'll let you know, because I'm going to tell you something. All of Tulsa, all of Facebook, everybody's going to know the truth about what your mother did, and her father, and her mother. And let me tell you something. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tidbit. There's 2 people that know what happened in relation to her father and the incest. 2 people know, and I know they know. Number 1 is Marisol's sister. I can't remember her name now. Married to Shof, Eric. I can't even remember her name now. Anyway, and Marisol's mother. They both know. Especially her sister. Her sister knows. And I'm going to talk about that. I mean, it's like I said, I've done a lot of videos in the past. They're still on YouTube. In the website, in the YouTube account, they got hacked. Stolen from me. But anyway. But I'm going to be doing this all over again. But I'm not leaving anything out. It's like I said, I've never talked about maxi pads and Tampax in relation to your mother. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the hell of a honeymoon that I had. Total freaking nightmare. Okay? That I had sexually. Unbelievable. And the total nightmare that I had for 14 years. Everything. I will not leave anything out. I just hope and believe that I can recollect everything. But actually, when I recollect things that I hadn't recollected, I'll just add a new video to the website and update it, and go from there. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to do, etc. And a story. And I just wanted to let you know something. Let me tell you something about sexual molestation of a child, which is what you did to Katya. Let me tell you something. Do you know that murder does not have a statute of limitations? You murdered somebody in 1950, they can catch you today, 2015, and put you in prison for the murder of a person back in 1950s. Okay. Do you know that there's another crime out there that doesn't have a statute of limitations? Let me tell you what it is. The sexual molestation of a child by another does not have a statute of limitations. They can put your ass in jail 10 years from now for the sexual molestation of Katya. And let me tell you something. You've had a hard life. You had a hell of a childhood. There's no question about that. And that's the only thing that prevents me, because all I'd have to do is a signed, notarized affidavit of a crime detailing what you did to my daughter, your sister. And the sheriff's department would pick your ass up. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you write to me and start being nasty and all that, all I can tell you is this. Ian, you thread lightly, because I've never forgotten. I've forgiven, but I've never forgotten that you sexually molested my Katya. And I've never forgotten your response on Facebook to me, that in which you implicated yourself in that Katya was not the only little girl that you had sexually molested. Now, you and I both know she was the first, but there's no way in hell she was the last one, Ian. And I know that. I believe that. You know, your mother in relation to your father and that she was sexually abused and other things, that I'm doing it for a vengeance to get back at her father. No. That's bullshit. Okay? I'm not that kind of person. Let me tell you something. If I wanted to get back at her father, and if I wanted to get back to many others, there'd be many people that would be dead today. Okay? I'm not that kind of person. Okay? And I knew that the hell that I went through during the marriage, and especially during divorce, I knew that the day, I just had to hang on to Yahuwah, to Yahushua, and that the day would come when the victory would come. And it has. It's come. And man, I'm having the time of my life. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't even go back, Ian, to live in the United States for nothing. I might go back to visit, but I ain't going back to visit Oklahoma. The only way I'm going back to Oklahoma is to put some people in jail and to impeach the judge and the lawyer who committed crimes from behind the bench and behind the bar. And I have all the documentation. That's why. Hey, maybe you didn't know this. Did you know that they tried to murder me? Yeah. I was in a hospital 3 days. They failed. Did you know that they tried to burn my house down where I lived in order to destroy the evidence that I have against Marisol, the judges, and the lawyers? The sound, solid evidence, which I still have today. Only problem is that statute of limitations does apply on that kind of crap. But you know what? Even though it applies, I'm still, down the road, if I have the money, I'm going to still go back to Tulsa, and I'm going to fight, and I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to take that judge off of the bench, get him impeached, get him thrown down. The fraud he committed, he falsified documents and court records in my divorce. Well, not my case. The divorce wasn't mine. In Marisol's divorce, he falsified documents, and Marisol was right there with him to do it. Nothing but fraud. The total divorce was a fraud. Just like the changing of the name, I have the documentation that proves that the changing of the name to Busquets of Isaac, Christian, and Katya was a total fraud. I have the documentation that proves it. Everything Marisol did is a fraud. And she thinks that, oh, Jesus, today is Sunday. Forgive me, Jesus. Forgive me, Jesus. Forgive me. I repent. Forgive me. Oh, gosh, I've been washed by the blood. And that it's fine. Total stupidity, total ignorance of the scriptures. But that's your Catholicism and that's your Christianity. They're both mother and daughter. But it's going to be a big surprise when Judgment Day comes. Big surprise. But Jesus. And the first thing he's going to say, who's Jesus? My name ain't Jesus. Who is that? Get out of here. Just like he says in the scriptures. They're going to come saying, Jesus, well, didn't I lay hands on the sick? Didn't I perform miracles? Didn't I do this? And he says, get away from me. You know who he's talking about there? He's talking about the Christians. Unbelievable. You know, but the thing about it is, I think, I spent 24 years in that shithole of a pagan, satanic cult called Christianity. Thinking I was saved. No more saved than the Marxist communist. I am saved now, though, boy, and there's no doubt about that, you know. And in the divorce, like I've said before, my hands are clean in the divorce, definitely. Your mother's hands are full of dung, D-U-N-G. I'll be nice. I'll say dung instead of the other word, okay? And they're staying that way. Because, see, when you truly repent, according to the Torah, yes, you have to recognize that you did the error, the sin, whatever. And you have to ask forgiveness for that. Yes, yes. Total agreement. Catholics believe that, and Christians believe that. But this is where it separates. In the Torah it states, you have to go back and you have to restore that person to where he was before you did the damage. Yeah, see, that's the problem for Marisol. She'd have to go back to Christian Isaac and Gati and tell them the truth. She won't do that. Isn't that right, Marisol? You won't do that. You'll go to hell first. And yeah, you will. There's no question about it, Marisol. You will go to Sheol. Okay? You want scriptures for it? I'll give them to you. You know? It's just like you're telling me, I get all these pastors that say that it's okay for me to divorce you. Okay, give me the name of one. Give me the name of two. You said how many? You got over 5, I think you said. Never gave one. Nothing but a lie. Nothing but a lie. But even then, it wouldn't make any difference. They're nothing but satanic pagan priests, these pastors, that are taking their congregations to Sheol or to extinction. But anyway, that's not my problem. I'm out of that hell. Torah Yahweh. I'm not in there anymore. I am truly saved. But anyway. So this incident here with Marisol, and all I've ever wanted was for Conte, Isaac, and Christian to have a relationship with their father. Total lie, Marisol. You're just another lying, hypocritical bitch. That's why I called you Satan's whore. Okay, because you are. You know, 100%. You're Satan's whore. You know, Lucifer's. You belong to him, and when you die, you're going to find out you belong to him. Your son, worship days, repentance, you're going to find out didn't do jack for you. Totally anti-Torah. But anyway, like they say, you sow what you reap, and you definitely have reaped, etc. But you know, I'm over it all. But the truth, my kids are going to know the truth. And since they don't want to talk to me and all that, the only way I'm going to be sure that they know the truth is it's going to go all over Tulsa. Broken Arrow, Sand Springs, all the towns around, and Tulsa itself, all over the place. All over the place, Marisol. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. But, you know, nothing you do surprises me, Marisol. Nothing you do. Why? Because you're a person that has no integrity. You have no credibility. You have no word. You don't even believe your own Christianity. Okay? You're a total farce. Total hypocrite. You're an idolatress. Idolatry. Idolatress. You're a total adulteress. You are a backbiter, gossiper, murmurer. I mean, it's unbelievable how the scriptures describe you to a T. Okay? And I'm going to bring the truth out about our marriage. Okay? Everything you did. Remember, Marisol, that second day when, after our wedding, honeymoon, freaking nightmare, and went up to, well, remember the first day I went up at night to go to sleep, found you in a ball, totally, your knees up to your, I mean, you remember that? Wow. And then the next day or the second day, I can't remember after that, came up to bed and you had your legs crossed here and shivering. And now that happened many times. But I'm going to go into great detail about those things, Marisol. Everything. And then at the end, I'm going to ask people, well, tell me, was Marisol, in your opinion, did something happen to Marisol whereby she had sexual problems? Or did she have sexual problems? Or is this normal? You know, a lot of questions. I'm going to even put a poll on the website. A poll. Who do you believe? Well, the poll will be something like, do you believe, yes or no, that Marisol Busquets was sexually molested as a child? Yes or no? And then number 2, these are all the characters that were in play during that time period. Your father, your mother, your sister, your brothers, your uncles, etc. Who do you believe, after listening to all of the videos, who do you believe sexually molested my wife when she was a little girl somewhere? And I believe it happened between the ages of 9 to 15. Okay? And you know what? Because I know this. When I described, Marisol, our marriage to Carmen Gill, another satanic whore, but anyway, at least she was honest some of the time. When I subtracted to the, what their name, the Spanish couple that are now in they're counselors for marriage in Florida. Roberto's, the Sabillons, all of them, all of our close friends, from even Juan Inga, when they all heard all of the story, and I'm talking about, I talked to them for 10, 15 hours, telling them a lot, and it wasn't all, but they got a huge, and at the end I asked them, what do you believe? You know what they all said? Every single one of them, even Cruz. What was his name? Cruz, Armando Cruz, the guy who tried to screw you. You know, he wanted to have a relationship with you. I want to talk about him. I'm talking about all these guys. The hypocrisy in the Christian church is unbelievable. Unbelievable. But anyway, all of them, Marisol, all of them. So, you know, when you're out there and you're with, talking to Yoli Sabillon and Roberto, just remember this. When I told them the story, I asked them what they thought. You know what they said? They believe 100% that your father sexually molested you. Oh my. Juan Inga, when he heard the whole story, everything, what did he say? 100%. You were sexually molested, no question about it, and it was your father. Armando Cruz, same thing. Remember Jesse? Jesse, you know, really nice guy, you know, in the health and the ministry, big guy. When he heard the whole story, what did he say? You were sexually molested, no question about it, and it was your father. All the different counselors I went to at the Spanish church up there on way up there, I can't remember the name, Aguilar or something like that. When I went to Bob Yandian's church and talked to the counselors there, when I went to not only did I go to Pastor Carmen Gill, but I also went to other counselors at Victory. What did they all say? They all said the same thing. I was trying to find somebody that would tell me opposite. That's why I went to so many people. I need to hear somebody say, no, no, no. That's not what happened. They all said the same thing. Number one, you were sexually abused as a child. There's no way. The problems you have sexually, you can't even hold your husband's hand. You can't even kiss your husband. I'm going to talk about all of that. All of that. How detailed is this going to be? Let me put it to you this way, Marisol. If it wasn't for the fact that I knew I penetrated you, I wouldn't even know if you had a vagina because I never touched it in 14 years. Couldn't even get close. That's how detailed the videos are going to be. And those videos are going everywhere. It's going where you have worked in the past and where you work now. All of it's going everywhere. Why? Because my children are going to know the freaking truth. And see, it doesn't make any difference to me. See, because I'm already settled mentally that if I never see them again, they never talk to me again, I'm okay with that. I don't need them in my life for me to have a great life, which I have. I don't need them. So the only thing that this can do is to get them in my life because they'll know the truth about what you did to them, Marisol. You took from them what you never had a right to take. You stole. A thief. They had an inalienable right given by Jehovah to have a relationship and a bonding with their father. And you stole that from them. You took that from them. Just like you took from me, stole my right to bond with my 3 children. But not only did you then steal it, but then between you, Marisol, and your brothers, and I don't know who, but definitely your parents, I know them. Oh, there's no way. Your mother with your father, the biggest gossipers, murmurers, backbiters. They talk about everybody behind their back. They talk about the pastor. They talk about everybody. I want to talk about them exclusively, like all the stuff they used to say about Gongi's wife. Can't remember her name right off the bat. How that she was having an affair and she was, excuse the wording, but I'll put it right out, how she was fucking the doctors that she worked for back then. Everything is coming out. Everything. Everything. It's coming out, Marisol. Because, see, I've already lost, as far as I'm concerned. You know, like I said, I'm okay. I'm okay with it that I can live content. I'm not okay with what you did, but I don't need it anymore. I mean, it affected my life for many years here, but it doesn't anymore. You know that what they say, out of sight, out of mind. So, you know, I've been years with my kids, don't talk to them, they don't talk to me, they don't want to talk to me. They don't even want to add me to their Facebook. They cut me off, they block me, all because of you. It's, oh, but I want my kids to have a life with you. I want. Oh, that's bullshit. Bullshit. I'll be frank with you, but if you were in front of me, I'd have to spit in your face, Marisol. You're such a liar. Okay? But anyway. So it's all coming out. Because, see, I'm not in their life anyway, so it makes no difference. So the only thing they can do is that the truth coming out, maybe they'll wake up to the reality of what you did to their father. Understand what I'm saying? They, Katya, Isaac, and Christian, will wake up to what you did to their father, and what you, with your parents, and who else, but definitely your parents, but maybe your sister too, okay, and who else, did to them, to turn them in a vicious, vile hatred and anger towards their father, when it was never deserved or earned by me in any way, shape, or form. And I believe that they will wake up to that. I believe that. But, you know, they can't wake up with it if they don't know the truth. And that's why you've always done what you've done. The false accusation, the protective fraudulent orders that I was going to kill them if I was allowed to see them, all this crap. Because you know me, and you know that I'm not going to sit by and say nothing to them. They will know the truth of what you did. I don't care what they do. I mean, Marisol, let me tell you something. If you think I'm doing this so that they get you out of your life, no. I don't care. I don't care if they have you in your life or not, because I don't care where you are. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care what. I do think about this one time at times. I go thinking, will you ever get married? I personally think you won't. Let me tell you why. And I'm going to cover this in great detail. You won't get married because you're going to have the same sexual depravity of problems with the next husband. And the problem you have this time is with me and Michael. Now, with me, you couldn't really do it. With Michael, you definitely do it. It was Michael's fault that I have sexual problems. It was his fault. And especially, oh, he raped me, and that's why I couldn't have sex with him. Which, you know, is a lie. But the point is this. With your next husband, maybe you'll give him a blowjob also before marrying him to show him that you don't have any problems. But then once you get married, he isn't going to come anywhere near close your vagina with his fingers or with his tongue. It's not going to happen. And so you know that, and I know that. There ain't going to be no oral sex. There ain't going to be no clitoral stimulation for orgasms or nothing. It's going to be get on and get off, you son of a bitch. You got 2 minutes to come, or if not, I won't have sex with you for next year. Yeah, I remember hearing that from you. I won't have sex with you ever again if you don't get on and get off in the next 2 minutes. He's almighty on that. It's unbelievable. The nightmare. It was freaking nightmare. Total exorcist that I was married to for 14 years. But anyway. But so I wonder sometimes if you'll get married. And I'm going, are you going to tell this next guy your problems? Because one thing's for sure, with my videos and everything I'm going to be putting up, you're not going to be able to pass the fault on to him. And one thing's for sure, until you admit that you have the problems, which you never will, because in order to admit that you have the problems, you have to admit you were sexually molested, and you won't do that because it points to your father, and you won't do that. So, personally speaking, I think you won't dare to get married, because you can't blame it on the next husband now. Because, see, I'm going to expose you to the world. People tell me that I should make a book. And after I do these videos, I'm going to copyright the videos, and it's going to be because if anybody ever comes to me, I mean, people tell me that I've heard the whole story. You know, even I can't remember who, even I don't know, Inga or whatever, or Jesse. Some of the people in Tulsa told me, man, you should make a movie. You should sell the rights. You should write a book. This is an unbelievable marriage story. You should write the book. And so I just very well might, because, like I said, these videos are going to be so detailed. Unbelievable. That it's going to happen. So I'm going to protect them, because if somebody does want to do a movie, I only have one criteria. One. And that is, I ain't changing the names of anybody to protect anybody. My name will be in the video, in the movie. Your name will be in the video. Your father's name. Everybody's name's going to be in it. It's going to be in it. Full expose. Nothing but the truth. Totally out. And so, anyway, so I wanted to let you know this. And, so you have time. For right now, you have time. Time for what? To tell the truth to Isaac and Kristen as to what you did. Because you haven't. You know it and I know it. Because, see, let me tell you this. If you told them the truth, my phone would ring. And let them know I'm not angry at them. I feel sorry for them. I have pity on them. They grew up fatherless during their most impressionable years, the teen years, fatherless. And please don't tell me that your father was a fucking role model for them. A man that has no integrity, credibility whatsoever, total hypocrite and so on, and child molester. Please. Please don't tell me that he's the role model and he was their father. Oh my goodness. And the man, your father, who I definitely believe, and this I'm going to cover big time, that very well did something to Katya. I'm going to cover it all. I'm going to cover it all. And so, it's going to be all over Tulsa. And I don't have any issues with it whatsoever. It's coming out. The truth is going to come out, Marisol. So until it does come out, Marisol, you have a chance to really give some thought about speaking the truth about what you did to them, to our kids, and even Ian. What you did to him, whereby he went and molested our daughter. Unbelievable, Marisol. But anyway, so that you know. You have time to correct a lot of stuff, but believe me, Marisol, and I'm going to tell you this, people ask me, would you ever accept your wife back if she came back? Let me tell you the answer to that. Hell no. Are you kidding me? Man, the greatest thing you did was file for the divorce, and I have no issues, man. I'm out of your life. God, you did save me from you. The only thing is you stole my kids. You stole the relationship. If we hadn't had any kids, man, let me tell you something. I wouldn't have lost anything from you. I wouldn't have lost a moment's sleep, nothing. But all the false accusations, everything. Unbelievable. But don't worry, Marisol, you went to church on Sunday, day of worshiping the sun, and said, Jesus, forgive me. And, he cleansed you white as snow. Oh, boy, you freaking Christians are unbelievable in your beliefs. But anyway. All right, well, listen, I'll leave you here. But I just, want to let you know what's going on and what's coming. And it is coming, Marisol. It is coming. And we go from there. All right, well, shalom. And all I can say is you need to investigate your freaking Christianity, pagan, satanic cult, okay, that I served for 24 freaking years. What a waste of my life. Worshipping Lucifer and did not even know it. All started by the Catholic Church, Christianity, didn't even know it. Lied to by the pastors. And Billy Joe Doherty, let me tell you something. He ain't nowhere in the New Jerusalem. He died of cancer. Let me tell you where he's at. He is in Sheol. Just where his wife is going to go too, unless she straightens out and comes in line with the Torah and the Hebrew scriptures and the originality and what they truly state about everything, because Christianity is nothing but a pagan cult. Unbelievable. Anyway, gotta go. Hey, have a good one. Shalom, shalom.